All right, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital, nightly strategy podcast for this is March 28th, 2024. God, we're a quarter of the way through this year already. Hard to believe. It was just Thanksgiving. Well, we're going to start with hybrid workshop or hybrid swing. This is Alcoa. It's 30-minute charts. This is the 1-day look back, 5-day look back. Here's the 10-day adapt anchored VWAP, the 5-day anchored VWAP. This dashed red line is the 30-period Bollinger Band. That's the middle of the river flowing northward. Just as terms of reference. So yesterday we initiated off the Kata 2 at higher lows, that upward wave. It held support. It opened yesterday. We got the initial entry as we briefed yesterday with the standard risk box of about 40 cents, maybe 30 cents. Sorry. And that closed really well. And then today it just continued and closed really well. Probably should have gotten a second position on here. But I was content at this point to just keep the one entry and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is about a 7-hour trade on one position, and it is well clear of the previous resistance. So this is all good. Now, if we looked at it on a daily basis, we'd say, you know, we still got a little bit to go before we get into that final resistance up here around 35. There's the top of the dragon is where we are right now. So there's still a little bit of opportunity. I like the expansion, range expansion that way. If it can get through 35, this thing is long gone. Let's look at the 3-day. Yeah, this is really something. Now, if we look at the 3-day, first leg, second leg, and you notice the higher low, and you've got the 30 period, the owl entry just starting. So we're looking to see if it can get above, like you said, about 35. That is the key right now. That's the lid, because that comes all the way over to here. So if it can get up into this territory, you say, where's the resistance? Is it here? Maybe. But that's not till 42. That's $7 on 35. That's a 20% free running before it gets anything like the next resistance. So I'm going to be watching this move to 35 very carefully. It's a good feeling to have 7R in hand on the single position. And I'm looking at that one for the long run. You know, Caterpillar, on the other hand, is just running amok. And as is Cliff Natural Resources. So let's be mindful of how these things can actually build on each other. So let's get back to the 30-minute. So yeah, leaving this entire consolidation zone behind, which we've been trading actively, that was the release of tension that let this thing explode. And then this is a nice 2-day stabilization I really feel stupid for not getting a second position on here, but I like that at 7R. And the big move hadn't even happened yet. AI, no trade. Caterpillar. Same entry as Alcoa. Well, we got this one at 360 and it's up around 367. It's got about 4R in hand, has cleared the resistance, and that thing's like at an all-time high. That's just ready to go, friends. Look how far it has progressed from beyond the 30 period and 10 period anchored VWAPs. Should have had a second position on this. Cliff, same thing. That's the industrial sector. Long gone. Sometimes you can get caught up in the tactical cut and thrust a little bit too much. CVS took a little macro view of that coming into the micro now. 1, 2, 3 entry as it recrossed the VWAP, got a slice, no overnight risk. DIA, no trade. Disney got about an R on the emerging dragon. Devon Energy, big gap up and go, about a half an R, and I'm looking for that to continue tomorrow. Emerging markets, no trade. Fractional gain in ETHE on a 1, 2, 3 entry. I may have left this too long, but I was really hoping to see it rejoin the price action at 27.50. Mexico, we closed yesterday's entry at about 3R after it rolled over significantly. Brazil took a 1, 2, 3 short for a third of an R. Intel. So this is we got our entry way back here, 41.50, about 8% ago, and have just been enjoying that little run up. There's such a nice cushion on this that I feel we're in pretty good shape. And that has a lot of room to recover to get back to 46. So I like having a nice deep pocket on that one. That's about 8R and a nice cushion. I'm noticing the 10 period and the 5 period VWAPs are in here. There's the 270 VWAP. So this is actually the first day of really aggressive buying, where it has left behind all the previous VWAPs. So this is actually evidence of emerging buying strength. So I'm liking this in Intel. IP, we closed yesterday's entry. It just really didn't follow through and then stabilized. Real estate, I tried to gap and go, but it ended up scratching. Coke, same thing. Regional banks, gap and go, and a fractional gain. McDonald's closed the nice move from yesterday as it pulled back and showed after some initial joy, no joy. It seems pretty content around this price level. We'll see if it holds here and stabilizes. If it can stay above the Bollinger Band main, I could be tempted back in. It's McDonald's after all. Merck, a slight grind for about an R. Microsoft, no trade. Marijuana, tried the owl entry short, or 1, 2, 3 short for an R. Nike, no trade. Nvidia, No trade. It's stabilizing at this price level around 900. Clean energy. Continuation re-entry on the emerging dragon for about half an hour. Palantir was a nice collapsing dragon, and we picked 2R out of that after it stalled and came back into value. So about 2R. Rivian, about an R on a 1, 2, 3 entry in the usual way. Exit at the skin of the dragon. SOUN, no trade. The S&P basically stabilized and locked in yesterday's late afternoon gains. It held pretty strong. No new real growth though. Treasuries rolled over. Tesla, I missed the short. Walmart tried a 1, 2, 3 long out of a channel. This was just trying to make the trade work and then quickly lost an R. It slapped me back awake. Tried a Kata 2 on the short side with US Steel for a fraction. Didn't want that overnight. And then XLI, it was a gap and go, and it really didn't follow through much. So on the second position, so I exited the whole thing because I was starting to feel a little too optimistic about this market. And tomorrow was Tactical Friday. So I'm getting my overnight risk in the industrials in Alcoa and Caterpillar and IP. And this one, we just cashed a nice 2-position trade for about 12. That's a pretty nice move in XLI right there. And ready to get back in again tomorrow, but I wanted to lock that in. Ugh, full day on the soccer field today. All right, sniper trades today. We're on the 3-minute charts now. This is ETHE, 3-minute. Oh, it's closed tomorrow? What planet am I on? What's tomorrow? It'd be embarrassing if it was Good Friday. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. That would mean Sunday is Easter. Is that correct? Oh my. Yeah. I try to stay alert to my world, huh? Well, ETHE then. Fractional gain, stop and reverse for a couple R in the usual way. A couple quick losses. So not much to show for that work in ETHE. And this is if you're trading the Ethereum and the actual currency. All right, next one up is Mexico. So this vertical blue line is the opening of the day. That was the close from yesterday's intraday swing. So I took this as a Kata 2, a situational trade for a fraction. When it crossed back below the VWAP, got short for about an R. I considered this when I had a span of control issue. Missed the Kata 2. Thought about a Kata 2 and missed it. Thought about a Kata 2 and missed it. And was not really well in sync on that one. This is DIA. So this is after the initial gap up, this was a cross back down below the dragon. PSAR flip, so I got short for a fraction. One caught a 2 on the long side for a fraction and a scratch. So maybe this was, I was wondering why it was so dang quiet in the afternoon. It's the holidays. Man, it caught me by some completely ambushed. All right, let's take a look at the traders real quick. Okay, just a couple quick ones to look at here. -1 on a really quiet grinding day here in Bitcoin. George, a couple quick losses protects against greater losses here in Microsoft. And really, that's all there was today. Is that one? Sorry, I got one for here's Jonathan smashing along here in EWW for 5. I think it's yesterday's trade, but still worth looking at. Yeah, that was yesterday's trade. All right, let's take a quick look at the daily. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to suspend the daily. I'm going to do a full up. Well, we'll do the daily now, and then I'll do the weekly tomorrow night. All right, made a new all-time high today before it rolled back. It's as strong as it can be. With a bullish normal, strongly overbought, favorable volatility. Multiple members of the Dow breaking out to all-time highs. Only a handful of things on the auto framer. Plenty of dojis today. Not surprising. Since I now know it was a holiday. God. Even the global ETF's doing really well. This is there should be some joy and happiness in the over the Easter table. Being dominated by the summer and the fall. Very few things in the winter at all. Just Johnson Johnson and Nike. So that's really as favorable as it can get. And then all of this bright green breaking out to out of highs, and that's across the board. That's just about as strong as it can be. Walmart is the big surprise to me. That's the there's a value play developing in there as well. Tesla, Tesla, marijuana, clean energy, and Nvidia. Those are the biggies. And I think Intel is joining the crew. Very strong intraday range percentages. All right, fellas, that's everything we got except for this final one. This is showing some remarkable resilience here. Grinding northward still. Just a market that refuses to lose. So I'm going to maintain my conservative discipline and tight stops and taking measured shots and minimize an overnight risk. And you guys have a great holiday weekend. We got our first games on Saturday. And going to enjoy this weekend. Take good care, fellas, and we'll see you on Monday.